Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got our Game of Throws against Gebaited here in our Silver Division. I'm super excited for the night, and I am the one on the camera, Loudtrex himself. I am accompanied here by Captain Jack and Amara. Folks, take it away.
Thank you so much there, Loutrex. Don't mind the little baby whining in the background. She's getting ready to head to bed. There you go. There you go, cutie. Hey, everybody. I'm Captain Jack, joined tonight with my co-commentator, Amara. How you doing tonight, Amara?
Hello, I am doing fantastic. Super excited to watch two of our silver teams play tonight.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get things started. Game of Thrones versus Gebaited. First match will be on Rialto. Take it away, Trickster. Go ahead and start it up. All right.
Welcome to Rialto.
I have to say, this is a map that I've always... I can't say enough about the aesthetics of it. It's, you know, I've had friends that have visited Italy and seen places that look like Rialto, and I just want to see it. I just want to see this in real life one time.
Just one time.
And then maybe boop someone into the river. I mean, just enjoy the scenery.
I don't think the locals would appreciate you booping them into the river.
Oh, it'll probably be Mrs. Captain Jack. I mean, come on. We'll just be so used to it and be like, bah!
She'll boop you in the river.
Yeah, well, she'll drive. She'll drive. All right, let's go ahead and see how our teams are setting up tonight. It looks like on Game of Thrones side, they're going to be coming in on the defense first. Darius Fulton and Sway is going for that Orisa Roadhog combo that is definitely popular on this first point here for Rialto. Kagura coming in on the Farah with Charvy on the Mercy, and Ludacris coming in with the Soldier 76, Trippy Ninja on the Lucio. On the side of Gebaited, we'll be seeing House of Homie and Carefree Llama coming in as the Ryan Zarya combo that we're so used to. Helix Snake coming in on the Widow, really hoping that Helix has got that super connection tonight. I would hate to lose them again. Loch Ness, which is a new name. I don't recognize that one. Coming in on the Hanzo, and Elfie and Getting My Van on the Lucio and Moira. Let's go ahead and see what these teams got tonight. First map on Rialto here at the OCCScrims. We're going to see Sways and Darius Fulton playing around the corner by the bridge. Sways trying to get that hook, but that Rhine shield is going to keep everybody protected for a little bit. Everybody's pushing past the bridge now, and it looks like, oh, the hook came in, ended up getting House of Homie, but Carefree Llama put up the bubble. It's back and forth. Here comes the tackle, but the stop from Darius Fulton, that protection's going to keep Reinhardt in place. Loch Ness getting the first kill there on Ludacris, but Charvery bringing in the res. Helix Snake ends up getting Kagura. Sways cleaning up House of Homie. Darius Fulton getting my van. And it is a 3v4 fight, or 3v5 fight on the payload right now. And it looks like Gebaited is going to go ahead and pull back to regroup before pushing into the payload once again. What do you got, Amara?
So, Game of Thrones has a lot of boot potential, but once that payload came past that bridge, that kind of put them at a disadvantage with all these good characters, but they made it work, even with House of Homie taking out people like Ludacris with headshots, beautifully, I might add.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. Charvy coming in with the res on Ludacris once again right there as they are pushing past the little choke point there. Graviton comes in along with the Wombo combo. Loch Ness making the name for themselves with the triple dragon along with Carefree Llama's Graviton, and that's going to allow them to clean up this point. Loch Ness getting Trippy Ninja with the Sonic Arrow, allowing them to more than likely gain 0.1 here on Rialto. An amazing Wombo, wouldn't you say there, Amara?
And would it put him at a real disadvantage that Trippy Ninja didn't have his ult yet? Now, Charvy tried to ult into that, but because she was caught in the grab as well, it didn't do them any good considering that it was a grab dragon combo and not just the grab itself.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like we're going to see Sway is coming out with the whole hog, pushing back. Gebaited for a little bit. Darius Fulton coming in as the Reinhardt now. And we're going to see double beat drops as the far ult takes out Carefree Llama, pushing them essentially back into their spawn. Charvy rezzing Kagura after getting taken out. Here comes the tack visor in from Ludacris, but Ludacris ends up getting sniped by Loch Ness. But Ludacris does end up taking out Helix Snake for an even trade right there, making it 5v5 on the point right now. There's the boop. Trippy Ninja sending House of Homie for a swim. Not going to be able to swim very well in that metal armor, I tell you what. 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock as they continue to hold this point right now. Elfie coming in on the Lucio, trying to get some boot potential as well, but Trippy Ninja and the rest of the team are pushing them back to that underbridge choke point. Amara, what are you seeing right here?
So the big thing I noticed is that Darius Fulton switched off of the Orisa, and considering Trippy is on Lucio, that's a really good switch to make because you don't really get that advantage of speed boost when you're running that Orisa because she's just so slow. So that switch helped them a ton for that last fight.
Absolutely. Hammer down coming in from Darius Fulton, but I don't really see where it went or who it got. Helix Snake ended up picking off Kagura, and they're getting pushed back to the choke point. House of Homie taking out Darius Fulton with the fire strike, but Sway's going to take out House of Homie with the whole hog and nothing but the hog. Getting my van ends up taking out Sway's, and Charvy ends up rezzing Darius Fulton so that they can hold on to the point once again. Elfie taking the hard reset along with Trippy Ninja booping Carefree Llama into the water. Loch Ness taking out Charvy is back and forth right now around the payload. 2 minutes, 18 seconds on the clock as go into the... Amara, can you turn up your mic a little bit possibly? It looks like our audience is having a hard time hearing you compared to me. All right, they're pushing into this choke point. House of Homie with the shatter, gets two, ends up pinning Trippy Ninja. Ludacris taking out Elfie though, so both Lucios are currently out of the fight. Sway's trying to hold some forward momentum as Ludacris ends up taking out House of Homie. They're coming into the choke point. Darius Fulton is back in, trying to hold up that shield, take as much damage as possible as the rest of Gebaited push back to the bridge to try to get regrouped with House of Homie. How are you doing there, Amara? Anything better?
All of my settings are turned up, so...
Okay, how's that, folks? Is that any better? I guess we'll find out. They'll comment eventually. All right, the Valkyrie coming out for Charvy, trying to keep everybody up as they fight around the choke. Kagura with the double kill, but Carefree Llama takes out Kagura supercharged. Darius Fulton gets the tackle on Carefree Llama. Trippy Ninja booping, getting in my van, and Kagura is going to get res back up, making it a 6-1 on the point. It looks like Loch Ness is going to go ahead and try to pull back with Elfie right there. It looks like it's still the same. Is there... Let's see. Whoever streaming needs to turn her up in Discord. Okay, Loudtrex, that's on you, buddy. If you can go ahead and fix that, that'd be great. House of Homie getting booped onto the boat. Almost going to take a swim right there. Oh, there's the swim. There's a swim and the die. Triple Death Blossom. Make a quadruple Death Blossom right there from Ludacris. Oh, that is incredible right there. Amara, what? Go ahead and say what you're thinking, and I'll try to repeat.
So they got grabbed, and Ludacris came in and ulted, and that's ultimately what saved his team there because he distracted them also. So nobody could really follow up on that grab.
Absolutely. So with the grab that came in, Ludacris kind of took advantage of that and was able to take out the team before they could follow up on it. Amazing counters between the two right there. Oh, better now. Okay, that's good. All right, it is overtime right now as they continue fighting on the choke. Helix Snake coming in as the Genji now, taking out Darius Fulton with the blade. Loch Ness getting a double kill on both Sways and Ludacris right there, and the payload's going to continue moving forward but they have the spawn advantage now. Kagura trying to get in there, make something happen, but Helix Snake is being a complete nuisance. Darius Fulton pushing back into the point. Here comes the Valkyrie from Charvy. Oh, but it looks like they're going to end up getting point 2. Just a little too late to push in there. Helix Snake ends up taking out Kagura. Loch Ness taking out Ludacris, and Charvy rezzing Darius Fulton to try to keep them in the fight. House of Homie a little bit out of position right now. Sways and Darius trying to take them out. Here comes the whole hog from Sways. Loch Ness ends up taking out Darius Fulton, and Sways ends up getting pushed back by the deflecting Helix Snake. Amara, that was an absolutely incredible hold right there, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It was beautiful. It was in overtime, and if you notice, Kagura was able to stay with the point, but wasn't actually ever able to get on it, which is a big reason they were able to push it that far. However, if it had been a Reinhardt or something, it probably would have just died anyway. So it's kind of hit or miss when you have a Pharah sitting above payload trying to contest by herself.
Well, excuse me as I pick my jaw up off the ground. Helix Snake once again setting the standard for that Helix Blade with a quadruple in the Graviton, making it a team kill that allowed them to go ahead and take point 3 with only 28 seconds remaining. Absolutely an incredible comeback from the side of Gebaited. Let's go ahead and see, excuse me, let's go ahead and see what Game of Throws has for their offensive game. Amara, why don't you go ahead and fill us in on what the teams are looking to set up with?
You just made me completely blank, Cabbage.
Well, what are we seeing coming in from the teams there,
So
Amara?
a big thing that was an issue there is Trippy Ninja was on Lucio, which is a okay defensive ult, but considering the grabs that Carefree Llama was getting, they probably should have been running a Zen, because they really didn't have anything to counter those grabs, which was a big issue for them that match.
I absolutely agree right there. Well, let's go ahead and look at the team comp, see if they're going to go ahead and take that kind of advice. It looks like Elfie coming in on the Moira and getting my van on the Mercy, looking to do a double team with Loch Ness on the Pharah, and Helix Snake coming in on the Reaper. On the side of Game of Throws, it looks like Trippy Ninja is going to continue to stay on the Lucio, with Charvy now on the Moira, Kagura coming in on the Widowmaker, trying to get those long picks, and Ludacris still on the Reaper, both with Ryan Zarya combos. Let's go ahead and see what they can make happen right here as they push in for their first attack. The boops are coming out. Loch Ness getting the first kill there on Sways with a little swim in the river, and they are pushing that payload past that bridge boop point. The tackle comes in, ends up missing House of Homie. It is a 5v6 fight on the point right now. Sways coming back in, trying to make something happen, but Loch Ness is raining down damage from above, not being able to pick off anybody though. Darius Fulton ends up tackling House of Homie, making it a 5v6 fight right now as the payload continues to push forward. Ludacris doing a ludicrous amount of damage on the side of Game of Throws right now. What was that, Amara?
I see what you did there.
Yes, I always tend to do those.
Yes. We all look forward to it every time you commentate.
It's just a part of who I am and my personality.
We wouldn't have you any other way.
Between Ludacris and Kagura, they went ahead and cleaned up the team right there. Trippy Ninja getting the boop on House of Homie, and it looks like, oh no, it looks like Helix Snake racing in there, trying to hold on as long as possible, trying to make it so their team can get back, trying to hold on, but the beat drop comes in from Trippy Ninja. Sways ends up taking out Helix Snake, and they are able to cap point 1 with 4 minutes 50 seconds on the clock to cap point 2. What do you got, Amara?
I think they probably could have saved the Lucio ult there had they just all turned and focused the Reaper. And speaking of Reaper, I'm really glad that we're seeing both teams run this. I like that Reaper has kind of come back into the game the last couple weeks since he's been changed a little bit.
I completely agree with that. I actually have to look into the notes because I didn't know they made some changes to. Well, no, they increased his damage a little bit, didn't they? Or something
I don't
like
remember what
that.
it was. I just know he's in my comp games being a pain in the butt a lot.
I know. It seems like every week certain heroes just kind of phase out and others kind of phase in. But as we know here, no hero. Ludicrous coming in with the Death Blossom, ends up getting Elfie, Carefree Llama, and getting my van. Kagura following up on Loch Ness, and Darius Fulton taking out House of Homie. Almost a team kill right there with Helix Snake still in the back line trying to get away. Unfortunately, they will not prevent Game of Thrones from getting point 2, allowing them to have 5 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock to grab point 3. Amara, Game of Thrones is just absolutely on fire with this attack. What would you recommend to Gebaited right now? Because it seems they're struggling a little to hold on to this defense.
They need to counter the Reaper. They need a Brig or a McCree because this Reaper is just absolutely destroying them right now.
All right, well, here comes the Graviton onto Ludicrous and Trippy Ninja. Unfortunately, without House of Homie there, they really couldn't follow up on it. And everyone essentially escaped. Helix Snake did get Kagura, and the Death Blossom's going on in the back line, but not getting much of anybody. Loch Ness taking out Darius Fulton with the Storm Arrow. Helix Snake ends up getting Ludicrous, and it looks like they may be able to turn this around. Getting a couple picks here and there. Sway's still trying to keep the dream alive as Helix Snake takes out Charvy. It's right now Trippy Ninja and Sway's near the point, and it looks like they're going to go ahead and regroup with the rest of the team. I mean, they've got the time. It's almost 4 minutes on the clock right now.
They have the time and they have the ult advantage. If Ludicrous can get in the right position, Sway can grab the enemy team and just end this real quick.
Absolutely. Well, here comes the Death Blossom from Ludicrous once again. Ends up getting Elfie, and the beat drop's going to keep everybody up as they push in once again. Ludicrous taking out House of Homie. Charvy ends up getting Carefree Llama with the Coalescence. And right now, Loch Ness is the only one near the point, trying to keep it from moving. But Darius Fulton swinging that hammer like it's no tomorrow, ends up taking out Loch Ness. And they are moving in, getting closer and closer to point 3. House of Homie comes in for the tackle, but misses. Fat Shatter coming in from Darius Fulton, ends up taking down 2, but couldn't get House of Homie. House of Homie returning the favor with another Fat Shatter with the Dragon combo. Unable to get the Dragons in soon enough, but still gets Trippy Ninja. Helix Snake switching over to the Genji, takes out Kagura, and House of Homie ends up taking out Ludicrous for another point hold here on Rialto, leaving them with 3 minutes on the clock to be able to capture point 3. What do you got, Amara?
So, I had something and then you asked me and now I don't.
Oh goodness, Amara. So what? It seems like they've kind of found their footing, though, wouldn't you say?
They have, absolutely. The only thing there is I don't think the Dragons were needed. I think they had already won that team fight. I think their big disadvantage here is, again, going to be how fast Ludicrous is getting these ults. So at this point, it's going to be if Ludicrous can get in there and ult, or if Helix can come in and take them out and take that advantage for them on the Genji.
All right, well, here comes the Coalescence and the grab. Coalescence with the blade. But Ludicrous getting the Death Blossom, going to take out 4 as well. Right now, it's just Ludicrous and I believe Helix Snake. Well, I heard Helix Snake. There they come. Helix Snake and House of Homie right now against Ludicrous. Ludicrous doing everything they can to keep the point contested. Helix Snake ends up taking a Ludicrous out with the dash, and that's going to be a hard reset. 1 minute 50 seconds on the clock as Game of Thrones finding it very difficult to push into this point right now. I feel like Ludicrous should have pulled off after they had gotten that many kills. Without the team to kind of back them up, it made it really difficult. Fat Shatter coming in from Darius Fulton. Kagura switching over to the Doomfist. Ends up taking out House of Homie. Loch Ness sending out the Dragons. Ends up taking out Sways, but will get taken out by Darius Fulton right now. The only one left on the point is getting my band and gets taken out by Kagura with the big punch. Here comes the beat drop coming in from Alfie, trying to keep the dream alive as the 4-man pushes in to try to take off Game of Thrones right now. 1 minute 9 seconds on the clock as the battle just goes back and forth on the point. Darius Fulton takes out Carefree Llama. Loch Ness takes out Darius. Kagura taking out Helix Snake. Meteor Strike coming in from Kagura, trying to make something happen, ends up taking out Elfie. Charby takes out Asahomi. Here comes the Coalescence from Charby, trying to make something or from Getting My Van rather. Here comes Charby's. Kagura still fighting on the point, trying to keep the dream alive as much as possible, but the Helix Blade comes out, takes out Charby. Kagura taking out Helix Snake. The Hammer Down coming out from Darius Fulton. It is a fight on the point, folks. 34 seconds on the clock. They are going back and forth right now. Loch Ness ends up taking out Kagura with the Storm Arrow. Sways getting Carefree Llama, Hasahomi, and Loch Ness with the charged beam, tripping in to take it out, Getting My Van, and they will claim point 3, completing round 2, making it a tie game here on Rialto. Woo!
That was intense.
It always is. It ain't OCC if it isn't intense.
I know.
All right. But look at that time bank. 1 minute to 1 minute and 4 seconds.
So the problem that Game of Thrones was having there, and the reason that they actually ended up with less time is because they had the ults and they had the damage to take the point, but they weren't focusing targets. So they were out ulting the enemy team. But because they didn't take that time to say, okay, we want to focus down this person, then we're going to focus down this person. And of course, that Reaper ult when his team was dead is the reason that their time bank is actually only 4 seconds less than Gebaited right now.
I absolutely agree with you there. Although Ludacris found the opening, it was a good timing. It was just that the team, they had lost the Coalescence during the fight. The enemy's Coalescence and Blade were coming out on the Graviton. Like, there was no way that they were going to live through that, essentially. So not having that Death Blossom for their counter Graviton. Trickster, looks like we're calling for a pause. Looks like
I don't know.
Sometimes they have lag issues, so let's go ahead and see what's happening.
We're gonna find out.
We are going to find out indeed.
It seems we're gonna sub out Elfie with Ali.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing Elfie's having issues. It looks like we haven't lost her yet, but maybe it's just Elfie can't do anything. So maybe that's why we can't see it. We're gonna sub in Alatrin and go ahead and get started once again here on Rialto. Let's go ahead and see what the teams are going to be coming in with. I'm definitely interested to see what we're going to see here. It looks like a lot of late picks on the side of Game of Thrones right now, trying to figure out what they're going to do. Looks like they're going to come in with a I don't even know what to call that. I mean, it's a 2-2-2, but I feel like it's like part dive, part stabilized, essentially.
On
Helix
the side
Snake
of throws?
Yeah,
so
but
that's
Helix
a 3-2-1.
Snake is...
Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, it's a 3-2-1. So they're running 3 heals, 2 tanks, and a DPS. Usually we see it with the 3 tanks, the 2 heals, and the 1 DPS. So they've switched up the 3-2-1 just a little bit.
That makes sense. Well, it looks like Helix Snake was absolutely popping off, getting 3 picks to start things off incredibly early, and with only 10 seconds on the clock, Game of Thrones has to figure out how they're going to get past this defense. Hasahomi coming in with the fat shatter, trying to make something happen, but Darius Fulton and the rest of the team are still up right now, trying to keep the dream alive. The shatter comes in, but Hasahomi's shield blocks it. Ludacris ends up taking out Hasahomi. Kagura taking out Helix Snake on the Tracer. The Coalescence coming out from Getting My Van, as well as the supercharged Carefree Llama. Trying to take down somebody, but everybody is staying up as much as possible. Kagura ends up taking out Alatrin. Darius Fulton taking out Getting My Van. The Coalescence comes out from Charby. Darius Fulton cleaning up Carefree Llama. And Kagura taking out Loch Ness. And it looks like they, by the way they're pushing, they may be able to take point 1 here. What do you think, Amara?
I think they would have honestly already gotten point 1 had they not tried that flank. It's a good strategy when you have a full time bank for this particular point, but when you're only running with a minute, you lose all your payload push doing that. So I'm very glad they got to the point. I think they could be a little bit farther, though, had they just gone straight to it and played safe on payload, which is what they're going to need to do now since we're in overtime.
Absolutely. Well, that team kill will definitely help them out. That triple kill beauty bomb coming in from Sways really started things off there towards getting point 1, and they just cleaned up the rest of the team right there. They are pushing into the choke here, going into point 2, still running overtime. Now remember, folks, as long as overtime ticks away, the longer the overtime ticks away, the shorter time they have to get back to the payload if somebody gets off of it. So right now, it's literally if they get a hair away, the game is over. The Graviton comes out with the Wombo combo, but the Transcendence coming out from Ludicrous is gonna save the day. Hammer down, Fat Shatter coming out from House of Homie, allowing Helix Snake and House of Homie to clean up. Right now, Darius Fulton, the only one left on the point, and it looks like they will end up clearing the point here on Rialto, taking it 4-3 as they go into their attack with only an extra 4 seconds on the clock. Looks like we're going to call... go ahead and keep it going, Trickster, until the... Okay. We called for another pause, but I don't know exactly why they did. So...
Well, while we're figuring that out, from what I saw in that last team fight, a lot of it just came down to which Ryan was able to ult first, and that happened to come down on the side of House of Homie's ult rather than Darius's. Darius had a beautiful shatter, there just wasn't any follow-up because of Homie's. But I did like the swap to Zen on Ludicrous. That gave them an advantage there when that grab came in. But at that point in the game, there's just so many ults that you can't protect from all of them.
Absolutely. They did their best, but let's go ahead and see if Gebaited has what it takes to be able to get there. They had an incredibly rough time trying to take point 1 and even more so on point 2 when they did their first attack. Ludicrous is actually coming in on the May this time around for Game of Throws. So they're definitely looking to try to stall this payload in its tracks, run out the clock as much as possible. Will it be enough against the greatest of all time coming out from Gebaited right now? It looks like they also are... They're going for the double fake! There it goes! They're pushing the payload! And everybody's like, where's the flank? Where'd they go? And they're pushing in. Loch Ness gonna get the stun kill there on Darius Fulton and take out Kagura, doing a lot of work. Helix Snake takes out Trippy Ninja, and right now it is a 3v6 on the point. Ludicrous trying to stay up, but gets taken out by Getting My Van. Helix Snake takedown Sways, and the only one able to get away right there is Charby. Kagura switching over to the Doomfist, and it looks like everybody else is going to stay where they're at, try to hold this point 1. The payload still barely moved because they were so focused on the fight. 15 seconds on the clock just now, getting past the bridge and into the choke area, trying to hold that forward momentum as 10 seconds is remaining. As we see Ludicrous pushing in, Darius Fulton trying to get that pick, but was not able to make it happen, gets caught out of position, and the hammer down comes in from House of Homie, getting Trippy Ninja with the fire strike. Helix Snake taking out Kagura. Charby ends up getting Olatrin though, so they don't have that saving grace. Zenyatta, well, the Zenyatta ult's not up yet, but if something happens on the point, they will be caught out of position. Loch Ness ends up taking out Ludicrous. Overtime ticking away right now is Charby trying to distract on the point as much as possible, doing a fantastic job, I might add. Darius Fulton able to get back in the fight. The tackle comes in, ends up pinning Charby, and House of Homie able to get back to the team and not out of position as they're pushing into point 1. Helix Snake getting Ludicrous with the Diva Bomb in the backline, and Carefree Llama ends up taking out Kagura, who was in their backline. It is 3v6 on the point right now, but the Graviton Shatter counter right there. Carefree Llama ends up taking out Darius Fulton and Sways as they grab point 1 here on Rialto. Now remember, overtime is ticking away, so if they get off that point even for just a second, they're going to find themselves in bad position as Olatrin takes out Charby for a huge stagger right there. Amara, go ahead and take 5 seconds before this fight starts again.
As far as the pushing up, I don't know if I have 5 seconds, but ultimately they were able to get the point because they faked them out, and Game of Throws split in 2, and it ultimately lost them that first point.
All right, well, here comes the Blizzard but it looks like it ended up getting eaten up by Helix Snake right there. I didn't see it actually hit anybody. The beat drop came in for Trippy Ninja, trying to keep the team alive as much as possible. But Charby, trying to use the Coalescence to stay alive, ends up getting taken out by House of Homie. Carefree Llama ends up getting taken out by Trippy Ninja. It looks like Darius Fulton and Sway's back on the point, but House of Homie and Altrin will take them out quickly. Kagura, the only one left on the point, ends up getting taken out by Helix Snake, and Gebaited will walk away with the 5-4 victory here on Rialto. Wow, that was an amazing match right there between these two teams. I think that we are in for quite a battle tonight. Wouldn't you say, Amara?
Oh, absolutely. This is so much fun to watch and even more fun to commentate on. Beautiful Reaper ult, by the way. Makes me want to be a Reaper main. Never gonna happen. I can't aim that well. That's why I play Zarya. Ultimately, it just came down to the staggers and the ult management. Game of Thrones used ults when they didn't have all 6 of their people, and then after that, they just staggered in instead of regrouping when they did have a big chunk of that second point as time to do that regroup. So it really just came down to ult management and regrouping.
Well, that is something that we always comment about no matter what level we see the gameplay going on at. So we're going to go ahead and allow them to do their switches. Let's go ahead and look in the chat. I do want to give a shout out to earlier. I saw, let's see, where's that name? I saw a new subscription. And I'm trying to see who it was. I'll recognize it when I see it. Oh, looks like maybe they're not here anymore. Oh well. Well, if you ended up following us, thank you for following. We always appreciate it. Looking into, say again. Blintz the Musician. Oh, there you are. All right. Thank you for following us, Blintz the Musician. Love to have you with us. Wheezy did nothing, says Kagura. I imagine for those awesome blades that were going on, or not blades. What was Kagura playing this last match? That's right, the Doom Fist. Ludicrous play of the game, gotta love it. GJ to Gebaited from Eldrick right there, and Olatrin and Dragon's Fate saying #for Elfie, because it looks like Elfie is continuing to have some issues tonight. So it looks like we're gonna go ahead and have a sub in for Gebaited. Nubius gonna come in for Olatrin as we move into our next map, Elios. Definitely one of my favorite maps. What do you think, Amara?
I'm just stuck imagining Gebaited all running and yelling for Elfie. So
I've seen it work. I won't say that I haven't seen a six-man heal team work on any game mode. So
I need this to be my next highlight video. Them just all yelling for Elfie as all the characters run towards the point.
Goodness, that would be wow. That would be something else right there. I will tell you what. Now it looks like we are coming in first off onto Elios Ruins. So well, I won't say no boot potential, but very, very little boot potential, I would say. Not so much of the Reddit Lucio we're gonna see right here. Lots of hashtags for Elfie from both teams tonight. Given some love, Elfie, who plays for Gebaited and does many of our amazing videos. Definitely seems to be missed as Elfie is continuing to have difficulty. As we look at how things are setting up on the teams right now, it looks like Kagura and Helix Snake are going to go Widow v Widow against each other. Ludicrous coming in on the Reaper once again, locking a stain on the Hanzo. Carefree Llama, House of Homie, Sways, and Darius Fulton coming in on both Ryan Zarya combos, and Trippy Ninja and Charvy staying on the Lucio Moira, as well as Anubios coming in on the Ana and getting my van on the Moira. Let's go ahead and see what they can make happen as Trippy Ninja helps the team get in to the point to start things off. House of Homie ends up pinning Trippy Ninja to start things off, though. But Darius Fulton takes out House of Homie with the fire strike right there. It is a 5v5 matchup on the point right now. But it looks like Game of Throws will be the first ones to take control of the point. Kagura getting the first Widow pick on Helix Snake. Sways ends up taking out Loch Ness, and they will hold control of the point as we see Gebaited go for the regroup back near their spawn. Amara, what did you think of that first capture there by Game of Throws?
I have to applaud both Widows for not just going up on the typical Widow building and sniping at each other for an hour. They both got in different positions from that initial point, and Kagura came out on top, but I do have to applaud both of them for their positioning during that Widow battle.
Absolutely. 32% and climbing for the side of Game of Throws. As right now we see Trippy Ninja playing the red Lucio, trying to stay on the pillar and get damage from above without really being countered right there. Helix Snake gets taken out by Kagura as the poke battle continues. Ludacris ends up taking out Get in My Van as Darius Fulton ends up coming out with the Shatter. House of Homie trying to use Shatter, but gets taken out by Sways mid hammer raise. Loch Ness also getting taken out by Sways right there. And Game of Throws will continue to hold this first point, 65% and climbing. What do you think of this incredible defense that Game of Throws is holding right here, Amara?
The Reaper's not being contested, and they're protecting their Rhine. Darius was charged by House of Homie, and if you notice, like 3 people turned around to make sure that Homie dies. So even if Darius was going to go down, they were going to make sure Homie was going to go with him.
All right, well there comes the Graviton Coalescence combo right there. Death Blossom comes out, doesn't end up getting much of anything, unfortunately, thanks to Getting My Van's Coalescence. Loch Ness does get a kill on to Charvy during that fight, but Darius Fulton's going to clean up House of Homie with the pin. The Shatter takes out Anubios, and Ludacris does end up taking out Loch Ness right there. Continuing to contest the point is Helix Snake. It's 99% right now for Game of Throws as Getting My Van trying to contest on the point right now as much as possible. Kagura ends up taking out Helix Snake for a 3rd time right there. Ludacris taking out Getting My Van. Darius Fulton pins Loch Ness, who switch over to the Doomfist as Ludacris takes out House of Homie. And point 1 will be secured 100-0 by the Game of Throws. An incredible match right there, wouldn't you say, Amara?
Oh, absolutely. That was absolutely beautiful to watch. I'm mesmerized right now by Darius Fulton's plays on Rhines. He's not afraid to be aggressive when he needs to, but he's not afraid to put that shield up when he needs to as well. And I think he has a really good balance with that. But ultimately, that fight just came down to one team out-ulting the other, even though the enemy team had gotten those first 2 picks. I think had Loch Ness saved his Hanzo ult just for a second, that maybe could have turned the tide there for them. But because he was just a tad earlier than his Zarya, and because the enemy team had more ults, the enemy team was able to keep the point.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to Boop Central. Elios Well is up next. Let's go ahead and see what the team's got set up. It looks like a modified GOAT's coming in for, well, I guess it's not modified GOATs. They don't have the Lucio, but they do have the triple tank with Helix Snake switching over to the Roadhog. Ends up getting taken out by Ludacris, though. Not able to follow up on that hook too much. And it is a 5v6 battle already as the point unlocks right now. House of Homie trying to absorb as much damage as possible, but Darius Fulton goes in for the tackle, ends up pinning Anubios, who came in on the brig this time around. Sways ends up taking out Getting My Van, but House of Homie will get Darius Fulton with the Fire Strike. Kagura taking out Carefree Llama is back and forth on the point right now, but it looks like Game of Throws may take control with over half of the point captured at the moment, but House of Homie trying to hold on as long as possible. Kagura takes out Helix Snake, switching over to the Genji right there. House of Homie trying to hold on as much as possible as the team regroups, but they know Ludacris is right behind him right now, trying to get a pick. Kagura ends up taking out Getting My Van. The hammer down, comes in for Darius Fulton, takes out Loch Ness and Carefree Llama. House of Homie trying to survive, but gets taken out by Ludacris, and Kagura takes out Anubios. allowing them to capture and start percentage on the point once again, 13-0. That was an incredible fight between these two teams, wouldn't you say, Amara?
Absolutely. The aggression and the damage that Darius and Ludacris are putting out on this Rhine Reaper combo right now is just too much for the enemy team to handle.
I absolutely agree with you there. I feel like they could have captured it a little earlier, but knowing how aggressive House Homie is, maybe they were just wanting to make sure. The hammer down, though, comes in, ends up taking down Sways. The pin in on Darius Fulton, and House of Homie ends up following up on that. Helix Snake switching over to the Hanzo, takes out Ludacris, and it looks like we will see Gebaited trying to capture point right now as Trippy Ninja. Oh, playing the red at Lucio, but ends up getting out of the well despite being stunned. 51% to 5 and climbing now for the side of Gebaited. I found that strategy to do the circles in the well incredibly inspiring for a Lucio, wouldn't you say, Amara?
I can't do it, so anybody that can do it has my vote.
Well, it looks like the double coalescence battle going on right now between Get in My Van and Charvy, but the follow-up damage from Ludacris and Kagura are going to allow Game of Thrones to retake the point rather quickly as they take out almost the entire team. Helix Snake takes out both Kagura and Ludacris as the lone Hanzo still on the point right there. But percentage will start climbing once again for Game of Thrones, 65 to 28, I believe. All right, the Graviton comes out with the Wombo combo from Helix. Ends up taking out Darius Fulton, getting my van, ends up getting Trippy Ninja. Oh no! Ends up getting Ludacris and Kagura, who are spawning in and getting into the fight right there. And it looks like Gebaited will take the point once again, 80 to 35. What do you got, Amara?
So they were up in that battle. Hanzo had come in and he had picked 2 people, and then they picked one more person. I believe it was Loch Ness that came in and did it. So they may have a hard time holding on to the point since they used their Grab Dragon combo there on one person when it was a 6v3.
Absolutely. Well, there comes the Death Blossom from Ludacris. Ends up taking out Getting My Van and Helix Snake. House of Homie ends up getting Ludacris with the Fire Strike. Trippy Ninja trying to reclaim the point, but not going to be able to do it alone against the House of Homie. The percentage is climbing and is possibly going to match against Game of Thrones, 80 to 70 right now. Darius Fulton trying to push in, but does not have the rest of the dream. Here comes the Meteor Strike from Loch Ness, trying to make something happen, trying to go for Sways, doesn't end up hitting him. The hammer down comes in from Darius Fulton, ends up taking out Getting My Van with the help of Sways. The rally coming out from Anubios, trying to keep the team up. Carefree Llama ends up taking out Darius Fulton. Helix Snake getting Trippy Ninja coming in on the McCree. House of Homie ends up getting Charvy with the Fire Strike. The hammer down comes in for House of Homie, ends up taking down Sways, as well as Helix Snake taking out Kagura. 100%. Complete point clear right there. Allows Gebaited to take the point 100 to 80. Amara, that was an incredible turnaround right there, wouldn't you say?
It absolutely was. They focused down Ludacris because they've got the McCree, they've got the Doom, they've got the Rig, everything that can go against him, they ran and it worked for them. And on top of that, once they lost that point, I think they were rushing to get back to the point and try to get it back. And so that caused staggers here and there, just little ones that kept them from getting the point back in the end.
I absolutely agree with you there. We're moving on to map 3 now here at the Ilios Lighthouse. Will Game of Thrones walk away with their first victory of the night, or will they get Gebaited by Gebaited? Let's find out as they move in towards the point. Lots of switch-ups on the side of Game of Thrones. Ludacris switching over to the Junkrat. Charvy and Kagura coming in on the far Mercy right now. Kagura getting the first pick on Helix Snake, though, to start things off. Taking control of the air and getting the hit scan out of position. Loch Ness, though, trades the favor with taking out Trippy Ninja. Carefree Llama takes out Darius Fulton. The res comes in for Trippy Ninja, and Loch Ness gets taken out by Sways. It is a fight for the point right now, and a tire already coming out for Ludacris. Triple tire kill already allowing Game of Thrones to successfully take point 3 here on the Ilios Lighthouse. Wow, Amara. I could have sworn that well, first off, I was just surprised that Ludacris got that tire so fast. And then on top of that, was able to take the point in Game of Thrones' favor right there.
Pharah Junkrat is such a huge amount of damage. It's insane. And so that allowed him to get that ult, which I was worried that it wasn't going to be enough since they had lost their main tank. But wow, Kagura and Ludacris just together along with that ult. It didn't matter that their main tank was dead.
Absolutely. Ludacris ends up taking out Anubios with the concussion mine. Trippy Ninja booping House of Homie down into the ocean. Sways ends up taking out Loch Ness. Ludacris taking out Carefree Llama. Trippy Ninja booping another. Getting my van. Just boop central right now for the side of Game of Thrones as the percentage continues to climb for them, 52-0 here on the Ilios Lighthouse. Doing an incredible job. Go ahead and blow up the chat, folks, with who you're rooting to take away the victory in this match. Let's go ahead and see what Gebaited is going to come in with. It looks like Anubio switching over to the Ana. Helix Snake able to finally take Kagura out of the sky. And it doesn't look like we're going to have a res. I have Fat Shatter coming in from the House of Homie, but Ludacris will take out Anubios with the tire right there. I don't think it's going to be enough. Helix Snake taking out Darius Fulton, and it looks like Gebaited will take control of the point, 84-0. What do you think there, Amara?
The Pharah was out of position a little bit there, which allowed her to get picked, which gave them numbers, which allowed them to take that fight.
All right. Very simple math, it seems.
Yep.
All right.
There's two ways you can do this. You can take out one of these DPS early on in the fight, so that spam damage isn't an issue. Or what Gebaited could do is run a Lucio and just go past all that spam damage. And it just happened to work out that they took out the Pharah.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like despite the group up, they ended up getting pushed back just a little bit. House of Homie taking out Darius Fulton, so they are waiting for the team to get back in position right there, as they are continuing to hold on, 84-41% and climbing for the side of Gebaited. It looks like Game of Thrones having an incredibly difficult time figuring out what they need to do next. Loch Ness coming in for the punch, but the Bubble Darius going to keep them in position. Here comes the tackle in on House of Homie, but not going to be enough. The High Noon ends up taking out both Darius and Ludacris, thanks to Ludacris booping Helix Snake into the air. Loch Ness also takes out Trippy Ninja. The res comes in for Darius Fulton. The House Homie taking out Sways with the Fire Strike. Kagura ends up getting taken out by a Helix Snake. And we're going to see another point clear again. Darius Fulton getting taken out by House of Homie. The only one left is Charvy on the Mercy, and ends up being able to get to save the safety of their team. Now 84-84 here on the Ilios Lighthouse. What will happen? Will Gebaited walk away with their second victory, or will Game of Thrones be able to throw it into their favor? Trippy Ninja going in, the hammer down, comes in. Fat Shatter from Darius Fulton right there. Triple barrage, a snowstorm from the Kagura, and Darius Fulton cleans up Loch Ness right there. The only one left on the point is getting my van, and ends up getting taken out by Kagura as well. Is 99-86 as Game of Thrones retakes the point. Gebaited has one chance to retake this point right now. Let's see if they can make it happen. Helix Snake switching over to the Soldier 76 to try to get in and contest the point. Is 99-99 right now. Graviton Meteor Strike combo takes out Darius Fulton and Trippy Ninja. House of Homie takes out Ludacris. Charvy comes with the res on Darius Fulton. Loch Ness takes out Charvy. Kagura taking out Anubios. House of Homie pinning Kagura, but getting taken out by Kagura as well in the same fight. And getting my van takes out Darius Fulton with the Coalescence. Right now, Sways is the only one left on the point, but gets punched to death by the Loch Ness. And it is 99-99 right now. Trippy Ninja coming back into the fight to try to distract as long as possible, as they're keeping Gebaited from retaking the point right now. Ludacris ends up getting taken out by Loch Ness along with Charvy right there. And it looks like Helix Snake will take out Kagura. So close, but it looks like Gebaited will retake the point and in turn gain the victory here on Elios, making it 2-0 here on the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims Silver Division. Wow, Amara, that was an incredible fight there for the last point.
It was, and I actually want to backtrack a little bit to a couple fights before that because it was just non-stop fighting after that. I have to applaud Anubios on his sleep. It allowed the McCree to come in and get that double kill with his ult. Because without that, it would have gotten one or it would have gotten none because that Rhine shield. In terms of Gebaited taking the point back, the enemy team used so many ults to take the point, they had nothing to contest. So when you use your Pharah ult and your Junk ult and every ult you have in your ult bank all at once, when there's still time for the enemy to contest, you have nothing. And it puts you at a serious disadvantage at the end of fights like that, especially when people are getting that extra little oomph to go and take the point. It's last minute, I have to take it now, and ultimately it won Gebaited the point.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead and blow up the chat here. Let's go ahead and see what is going on. You can also be a hashtag proud CAG mom from Wheezy Did Nothing. I'm not exactly for certain what that hashtag means, but I'm gonna guess that it's for Kagura. I'm gonna guess that. Eldrick saying always rooting for Gebaited. House of Homie has my heart. And fat aim on a from my wife beats me. Interesting tag right there. Lots of love in the chat, but we will have more for you after this halftime video. So stick around for more Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. Welcome back, everyone, to the Overwatch Cavalry Club Scrims. I am Captain Jack with my co-commentator, Amara. How was your break there, Amara?
It was wonderful, and I would like to ask the people watching at home to figure out what their favorite dad joke of the night is and let us know at the end of stream, please.
Ah,
Oh my
jeez.
goodness.
I told you I was gonna do it.
Is it just
Good.
is it just from this stream, or are we taking in
Just
like
this one.
all dad jokes?
I
Just
just
this
was
one.
I
like,
think with all the bread jokes that Mighty made during the
No,
6-month
no red
anniversary,
joke.
he might be taking that one. I don't know.
No, just tonight.
Just tonight. All right,
like
I'm in
breathing.
the running. I love it.
So
All right.
it is
Let's-
Captain Jack versus Captain Jack.
Captain Jack versus Captain Jack. I really wonder who's going to win this one. All right. Let's go ahead and see what we've got going on here for round 3. If you're just now joining us, welcome. It is 2-0 Gebaited versus Game of Thrones at the moment. We are going to start things off for match 3 on the Temple of Anubis.
I love this map so much.
I feel like I would just want to see like Lara Croft run through like randomly in this
Yes.
map. Like I obviously like it just seems like something that you'd want to see. Like you're just playing and then all of a sudden out of the corner of your eye you see Lara Croft on a hook just like flying over like a Widowmaker, and it's like, who the hell is that?
I need this in my life.
I'm looking for treasure. Get out of here.
We
She
need
and
a
Junkrat
Lara
would
Croft.
have a
We
lot
need a
in
Lara
common.
Croft Ash skin.
Ooh, wow, that would
We
like
need
a
this.
treasure hunter ash skin. Wow,
need
that
this.
would be pretty interesting.
And McCree can call Indiana Jones. That way we just cover all our bases.
Oh jeez. Ugh. Snakes! There's a snake in my boot. Oh no, why'd it have to be snakes? Oh goodness. All right, 40 seconds on the clock. Let's go ahead and see how our teams are setting up for for match 3 here on Temple of Anubis. It looks like Gebaited is coming in with an interesting composition right now. All right,
little surprised we're not seeing any
says that
snipers.
Ash has a desert skin that looks like Lara Croft. So we might already have it. I don't know. I literally have not played a lick of Ash yet. So I have no idea what
can't.
Ash is about yet.
I can't,
All
and
right.
the 6 on her aim isn't coming out for 2 patches.
Ooh, that's no bueno. All right, Ludacris coming back in as the Mei once again, looking to be the Freeze Queen. Let's go ahead and see what's going to happen. The team getting separated by the Mei wall. The pin comes in from Darius Fulton, doesn't end up getting anything. Helix Snake does take out Kagura to start things off, though. Ludacris pushing everybody back with the freeze spray right there, trying to make something happen as much as possible, getting healed on the point as the rest of the team fighting against Carefree Llama and House of Homie. House of Homie gets tackled, but doesn't get taken out of the fight as Carefree Llama does get Trippy Ninja. Anubios ends up booping Darius Fulton to an early death, and it looks like it is going to be a capture right now if Ludacris can hold on. Helix Snake takes out Sways. House of Homie takes out Charby. Ludacris wondering, what the heck am I going to do in this icicle right now? Using the wall to try to get away from the team, but will get taken out by House of Homie, and that is going to be a capture for point 8, I believe. What do you think, Amara?
You know, I'm really surprised that Game of Thrones wasn't running a sniper before on that first point. It's such a sniper-friendly map, especially up there for both sides. And so Helix kind of had free reign for a second there. And on top of that, there was a couple times where it didn't really look like Ludacris knew who he wanted to freeze. And so nobody really got completely frozen or focused.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like Helix Snake is going to go up against Kagura's Scope. The Blizzard coming out from Ludacris, but it looks like Sways is going to be the only one to be able to follow up, taking out Elfie. Anubios takes out Darius Fulton. Helix Snake taking out Charby. Carefree Llama demecking Sways with House of Homie taking out Sways. Trippy Ninja trying to get into the fight but gets booped to death by Anubios. And the only one close enough to do anything is Kagura. does distract on the point for a little bit, but ends up getting taken out by House of Homie. The beat drop coming in for Anubios, trying to keep the team up as Ludacris moves in. The Primal Rage pounding away for the House of Homie, trying to make something happen as we see the counter Rhine Diva come out from Darius and Sways, the Transcendence rather, coming out from Trippy Ninja, and the Coalescence from Charby, trying to keep the team up. Diva Bomb coming in from Sways. Doesn't end up getting much of anything as the team's able to get away. Kagura switching over to the Symmetra, ends up taking out House of Homie. D-Mecking Carefree Llama, ends up taking out, Sways taking out Elfie right there. They're cleaning up on the point right now. Only one tick has been taken. The Reddit Lucio Anubios gets taken out by Darius Fulton, and Ludacris taking out Helix Snake, Loch Ness, and being able to D-Mech Carefree Llama, but gets taken out by Darius Fulton. And that is going to be a hold for the side of Game of Thrones right there with 4 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock and 33% of the point captured. Amara, what have you got?
So that tick being taken, I think, can be summed up in a very simple statement. No matter how safe you think you are, do not stand still when there's an enemy Widow. Now that allowed Gebaited to come in and kind of roll that point and take that tick, but Kagura switched to the Sim, saved that point, and I have to applaud. I love Sim. So.
All right, well, it looks like Helix Snake is going to come in on the Pharah this time around with Elfie on the Mercy. Kagura getting the double kill on Helix Snake and Loch Ness. The beat drop comes in for Anubios, but gets caught up in the Blizzard. Elfie trying to come in for the res. The Diva Bomb coming in from Carefree Llama, doesn't end up taking out anybody. House of Homie ends up getting Charvy. Sways taking out Elfie. House of Homie following up on Trippy Ninja. Diva Bomb from Sways also doesn't end up getting anybody. Kagura taking out House of Homie. Darius Fulton following up on Carefree Llama. And it looks like they will continue to hold on to the point right now. 3 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. I have to say, the Symmetra defense is working incredibly well for them. Wouldn't you say, Amara?
It absolutely is. I know we have one Symmetra hashtag in the Discord. I think it's time we get ourselves a second.
Let's see what we can make happen. Go ahead and blow up the chat with a Kagura-themed Symmetra tag. Saving the point right now here on Temple of Anubis. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Gebaited has plenty of time to figure out what they're going to do against this. I'm not exactly sure what you'd call this comp, but it's stopping them. That's for sure right now here on Temple of Anubis. We see Kagura setting up once again, does have the wall ready. Here comes the push in from the team. The wall comes up for Kagura, ends up taking out Anubios with the turret, but Anubios does D-Mech Sways before they're taken out. The charging House of Homie trying to make something happen. The barrage coming out from Helix Snake already takes out Kagura, but Sways ends up getting Helix Snake. Kagura turret takes out Loch Ness, and Helix Snake gets res back into the fight. Charby takes out House of Homie with the Coalescence right there. And right now, Elfie and Helix Snake looking to retreat with only 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Amara, what have you got?
So in that particular fight, the Pharaoh was coming for Kagura on that Sim, and the Sim wall is what ultimately saved that point, I think. Gebaited is running what they need to counter Game of Thrones comps right now. They're just not focusing the turrets or focusing any specific characters. So if they can just take a second to regroup and do that, I think they can take this point pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like they're going for the right push right now, but the Maywall gonna end up separating Darius Fulton from the rest of the team. The Blizzard comes in, ends up catching House of Homie, and might get Carefree Llama as well. Kagura taking out Elfie, and Anubios. Diva Bomb going in the back line, ends up taking out Loch Ness and Carefree Llama right there, and completely cleans up the side of Gebaited. 1 minute, 20 seconds on the clock right there. I have to say, I was a little scared there for Darius Fulton. Ended up getting blocked off from the rest of the team, but Ludacris quickly corrected, threw out the Blizzard, and it ended up preventing them from even touching the point that time. Wouldn't you say, Amara?
Absolutely, in the great words of Captain Jack.
All right. We see House of Homie coming back in once again, gets focused, Oh, Diva Bomb goes in, trying to make something happen. Ends up only taking out Kagura. Helix Snake ends up taking out themselves mid-barrage, but ends up getting Trippy Ninja. Kagura taking out Carefree Llama with the turret right there. The angry monkey that is Darius Fulton trying to push the rest of Gebaited off the point right now, as well as House of Homie trying to push all of Game of Thrones off the point right now. Anubios demecking Sways with the boop, and they are continuing to contest this point. 30 seconds on the clock right now. Lots of heals, lots of damage going back and forth, but Sways will take out House of Homie. We see Helix Snake coming back in on the Reaper, trying to make something happen. Carefree Llama ends up getting demeched by Kagura. Elfie bringing in the res for House of Homie, but Sways takes out Elfie. Here comes the EMP from Loch Ness, who switched over to the Sombra without us noticing. Helix Snake gets the double kill. House of Homie cleaning up Charby, but Trippy Ninja coming in with the res on Darius Fulton, able to get them back in the fight. Here comes the Blizzard in from Ludacris, trying to secure the point as overtime ticks away, and it's not going to be soon enough for House of Homie to get that jump to prevent that, and it looks like they will be stopped just short. 47.9% of the capture on point 2 here on Temple of Anubis. Amara, what do you think of that last fight right there?
So part of it came down to when we saw the 2 Winston ults. When you're running a Winston against a Mei, you have to stay away from her and your ult, or your ult can become basically completely ineffective and wasted. So what Homie needed to do was just get away from her, and I think that would have helped. The other big thing is Kagura is building charge on the Winston bubble. He's building charge on absolutely everything he can find, and that, along with the turrets not being focused, is just making his damage output too much for the enemy team to handle.
I completely get exactly what you're saying there, Mara. Kagura was just a force to be reckoned with, despite the fact that Helix Snake was doing their best to try to focus. I'm kind of interested. What? Are we really going to see this? Oh, man. Helix Snake coming in on Mabe, the Bastion. Setting up right now here for Temple of Anubis defense right now against what's looking like a dive comp coming in from the side of Game of Thrones. Let's go ahead and see how they set up. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So they're running a double shield.
With a sim.
Okay, they were waiting for the teleporter to get up on the high ground. All right, here it goes. They're pushing into the point already. Helix Snake getting power boosted by Elfie right there, trying to take out Darius Fulton, almost getting the first tick there on the point, but Helix Snake takes out Darius Fulton. House of Homie taking out Charby. It's 4v6 on the point right now. Helix Snake DMX Sways and is raining bullets from above. Ludacris ends up getting House of Homie, but the res comes in from Elfie. Loch Ness taking out Sways. House of Homie getting Ludacris. Right now, the only one left on the point is Trippy Ninja, and gets taken out by Helix Snake as well, allowing them to clear point A just shy of first tick. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. Amara, I'm surprised that they're running this composition.
I really don't even know what to say. This Bastion is just melting the enemy team right now. And with the Ana, if you notice, Anubios is on a different platform away from the rest of the team, back where he's got plenty of cover. And so he had that beautiful crossfire in that fight. So the monkey had to decide, am I going to go dive up and get the Bastion, or am I going to go for the Ana, which gave them that advantage.
Absolutely, especially with the Symmetra, a teleporter just going back and forth on the roof right now. Helix Snake ends up taking out both Charby and Ludacris right there, who switched over to the Junkrat to try to counter Helix, but Helix Snake coming in with the tank, takes out Trippy Ninja and Kagura, as well as demecking Sways. House of Homie cleans up Sways, and it is another 0.1 hold right now. 2 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock here for Temple of Anubis. Amara, what would you recommend to Game of Thrones right now to try to counter what many would probably say is a very incredibly cancerous comp?
They need to run long-range damage, and they need to get off the Winston. Winston has the mobility to get up to the Bastion, which is, I'm assuming, what they're thinking here. but he just gets melted too easily by the Bastion, especially when the Bastion has double shield and double heals on him specifically.
Absolutely. And the Symmetra doesn't make it any easier as well. Loch Ness taking out Trippy Ninja with a turret. Helix Snake gets Ludicrous. House of Homie following up on Sways as Carefree Llama demexes them. Kagura looking for the Reflect, ends up taking out Helix Snake, and here comes the blade from Kagura, looking for Elfie, trying to make it happen, but Elfie comes back in with the res, just barely getting Helix Snake back in the fight. Darius Fulton coming in with the Angry Monkey, trying to take somebody out, but Helix Snake ends up getting Trippy Ninja once again, as well as Darius Fulton. Ludicrous trying to get up in there, but gets taken out by Loch Ness, and they are just holding this point with Game of Thrones. Just, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do in this position either, to be completely honest with you.
Switch to something like a Hanzo Pharah Junk. You've got that range, you've got that shield break. Another big thing is they're going up towards the Bastion, wherever he may be, one at a time. One tank's going in and getting out, then the other one's going in, then going out, then one DPS is focusing, and it's not enough.
Oh! Beauty bomb from the Sways! Oh, no, it's not. Ended up getting two and the teleporter, but here comes the tank mode of the Helix Snake. Ends up demecking Sways. The tire coming out from Ludicrous gets both Helix Snake and Carefree Llama. Right now is Loch Ness and House of Homie was against Ludicrous, but got hit by the Fire Strike. Only 4 seconds left on the clock as the Reddit Lucio Trippy Ninja comes in to just barely touch the point right there, trying to keep the dream alive as much as possible as overtime ticks away, gets taken out by House of Homie right there. Kagura coming in with the rest of the team, trying to follow up, but House of Homie takes out Charby. No heals on the point, and House of Homie is now a nanoed Ryan. Elfie comes in for the res, taking out Loch Ness. House of Homie taking out Sways. Wow! I almost thought they had it right there, but Gebaited will walk away with the 3-0 tonight here on Temple of Anubis. What do you think there, Amara?
I think they made a couple good switches near the end. I just don't think it was in time to actually take the point. And again, when you're going in against a Bastion, if you don't all go for him at one time, you're all going to get melted. So you take out those two supports, which we saw, but the Bastion is still there. And so you really have to focus him, because not only does he have those heals on him the entire game, but he can also heal himself.
Absolutely. They were doing an incredible job, and I've seen Bastions run on point one before, so I was a little concerned. It does tend to work, and the strategy that they were using, absolutely genius. I actually have never seen it used, but it makes so much sense. Using the teleporter between the two roofs so that Bastion has a way to get between both points. Like, he can even set up in turret mode and switch between both teleporters so that they don't lose the whole, like, getting up, sitting down kind of thing. And
it makes it really hard to focus a Bastion when you have sim turrets up with him as well.
No, I absolutely agree. Normally, we still go to the game 4, but we just lost a majority of Game of Thrones, so...
I'm working with them currently.
Oh, okay.
It's a very odd circumstance.
So while we wait, why do you like the Bastion, Captain Jack?
Oh, Bastion was my first love. My bae, my first golden gun.
Aww.
That successfully got me my first time from gold to plat in like season 7 when I started playing, or around the time I started playing. He has always been, and I play him really weird. Like, a lot of people play Bastion very similarly like that on the defense. I am an offensive Bastion. I will be on that payload. I will be attacking from angles you never thought that you'd see me coming from. That I will sneak in and I will just decimate an entire team before they even have a chance to know what is going on. And it is sometimes it really works out and sometimes it's really bad. So once I started getting countered a whole lot, that's when I started becoming the flex player I am today, switching to couple different DPS roles, taking on the tank, then taking on the heals. And now I'd say, if anything, I tank a lot more than I do any other role, but I still have a great Bastion, a great Junkrat.
Me and Bastion
really
have
good
never
Zen-
really been friends.
No. Well, I mean, you're the
ST4?
Farmara, so
Yeah.
I mean, hail
and
of bullets into the squishy sky.
as Celestial Deathfall can attest, I wasn't a big fan of Torb until the Torb changes, and now I have 2 Torb
Whoa.
accounts. 2.
Wow.
There, I don't know if I should state, but their team just wasn't having it.
All right.
All right, folks. So that's going to be the end of the game. Please give us a hashtag for who your player of the match was. Cap Jack, start off with you, buddy.
All right. I think I am going to have to give my love to a tank tonight, House of Homie. You and Darius Fulton both. I honestly can't say which of you is the better Ryan, because both of you got a lot of incredible fat shatters. Both of you doing an incredible amount of defending and attacking for both of your teams, either on the Winstons or on the Reinhardts. Just wow. Like, I continue to be impressed by all the Reinhardt work that we see here. And even at the silver level, you two are doing an incredible job. So you two are my players of the match tonight. How about you, Amara?
I'm gonna have to go with Ludacris. He did absolutely so much for his team, every single map, and it's just incredible to watch him play.
Would you say that he was being quite ludicrous?
Yes,
He
yes, I would.
he would be matching his name quite well. I would
Yes,
agree with
I
that.
absolutely
Very much
would.
so. How about you there, Trickster?
I get a choice.
You get a
Yes,
vote.
you get a choice.
Oh my gosh!
You get to
You're
vote.
included.
Little me over
The
here.
great things about being a host. See, you run the
I
game.
love
You get
hosting.
to be part of
Whoa.
it.
See, I have a few.
You got to pick one, man.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Try
go
to
for
narrow it down as
Sharvie.
best you can.
I don't want to be like a Gebaited. I love you, family. Started me off, but Sharvie, I felt was doing
Woo!
excellent on Moira and holding them, and just keeping them on their toes at the start and just continuously throughout the whole game.
I have to agree with you on that, Trickster, especially on, I believe it was Rialto. Many a times the last person that was on the point was Charvy on the Moira, and somehow for like 15, 20 seconds was continuing to distract on point as the rest of Team Gebaited was trying to figure out how to take care of him. So just doing an incredible job right there. How about you, Loud T-Rex?
Let's see. I am definitely going to have to give it to Ludacris. No, Ludacris is definitely a DPS force to be reckoned with. Kagura was doing really well. I was really happy to see, somebody being able to stand toe-to-toe with Helix, particularly in the Widow v. Widow battles. But that was the thing, though. Ludacris, when he could find those angles, get into that back line, and get really annoying, fantastic.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and look into the chat. Looks like, looks like we have a lot of the players voting for themselves as they come into chat. Wheezy did nothing, giving player of the match to Kagura. My guy did work with the Pharah. I absolutely have to agree with that. Kagura was incredibly on point with the Pharah tonight. And yes, Trickster?
I have been requested to ask you all from Elfie, the one and only, to do an interview for Game 4.
I don't think we're prepped for that. As much as I would love to do it, I don't think that's
Alright.
something we're prepared for. So
I'll
maybe
relay
next
it.
time, if you're interested in us doing interviews similar to kind of what we've seen on the Overwatch League, go ahead and blow up the chat as we go ahead and close out for the evening. As my buddy Loudtrex would say, tell your mom, tell your dad, sister, brother, grandma, grandpa, everyone that you know, anyone that you think is interested in to join our community. You can start with us on Facebook. We join the Overwatch Cavalry Club there. Lots of great memes, lots of great team up and strategy posts, lots of great highlights from many of our players from bronze all the way up to Grandmaster. Just incredible videos and information there. You can follow or subscribe with us here on Twitch as well as on YouTube. You can go below the stream right now. You'll see applications for both players, which are from Silver Division to Diamond Division. We have a division for each, 3 teams in each division currently. So feel free to fill out the application, and we'll see if we can find a place for you to get in on one of our teams. Or if you're a Master Grandmaster and you want to coach, application is also below. Feel free to fill that out. We have lots of teams looking for great leadership and coaching, and we would love to have you join us. Or if you're just interested in getting a little closer to the rest of our OCC Scrim family here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and we'll invite you to our Discord channel where we have about 200 of our commentators, players, coaches doing all sorts of things. There's always something popping off in the general chat, always people looking for games. It's such a great time, I tell you. If it wasn't for the fact that it kills my battery as many times as I hear the chat blow up, I would not have it muted all the time. So it is an incredible, like every time that I go in, people are always saying good things about one another, helping people out, teaming up to do either placements or just screw around in custom games and quick play. It's just absolutely amazing. So with all that, if you're not interested in OCC at this point, I got nothing for you. Like, this community is incredible. So I really hope to see you with us. With that being said, that is going to be it for us tonight. We will be back on, let me take a look at my calendar here. We will be back on the 21st. Or sorry, today is the 21st. Normally, we would have a match tomorrow night, but because of Thanksgiving, we will be allowing all of our teams to be with their families, as it should be. So we'll be having a community night. So do we have a time for that, Loudtrex? Do you know? Or is it just kind of an all-day group up as you can kind of
That
thing?
one's probably going to be later on towards the night.
Okay.
Now that being said, I did want to harp on one final thing. For those of you watching at home, those of you who are playing Overwatch, we understand that there's just days that you just can't win at this game. You're gonna get rolled, you're gonna get steamed, and it's gonna be a tough match. The best thing you can do is do your best to try to keep your head in the game, try to always learn, and try to do your best to keep your emotions in check. Because that's the problem. Once you start getting tilted, once you start believing that there's no way to win, it'll start happening. So a major thing for those of you, at home, or those of you considering doing comp tonight, whatever it is that you're going to do the best you can to really keep your head wrapped into the game. That being said, if you are coming out to the community night for whatever reason tomorrow, expect to be coming in later in the evening. Titans v Void will be moved to Friday. And it's going to be a wonderful match.
Absolutely. So go ahead, join us either tomorrow night for community night, which is essentially yet to be determined, but you'll see people on, I'm sure. We'll post something about it in the Facebook and Discord. And Titans v Void on Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at the OCC Scrims. I'm Captain Jack.
Myself and I believe Mighty, correct? Captain Jack?
I have to go back and look at the schedule. I was ready for tonight.
I assume it's that good. So yes, I will see you all on Friday night. But
All right.
I'm Amara. Everybody say thank you, Trickster.
I'm so happy I could host. I'll see you all again Saturday.
And I'm Loudtrex. Good night, guys.
Trick